right, welcome. We're going to get started here in just about 1 minute. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, everyone. Good evening. We are so excited you're joining us for this Parent Technology University session. Thank you so much for being here. If you're live with us or if you're tuning in and watching this on our YouTube channel later on, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Let's jump right in. For those of you that I've not met before, my name is Jennifer Hall, and I'm a digital learning specialist here with Atlanta Public Schools. So that means that I provide support for instructional technology, and my lens is actually literacy. I'm a former middle school language arts teacher and ed tech specialist. And so I'm just excited to highlight some of the resources that we have available here in the district to support literacy, and especially resources that you as a parent can use to support your students, your children, and family members at home. So that's me. But guess what? I'm not the only one leading this session. I'm going to pass the mic to my co-host for tonight's session. How's it going, Charisse?
Hi, Jen. Thanks so much, parents, for joining us for this digital literacy course. I am Charisse Costin. I'm one of the coordinators of Library and Media Services for Atlanta Public Schools. My role is to support the school library programs of Atlanta Public Schools. We promote all things literacy, and we make sure that students love reading, whether that's in print or digitally. So I am excited to share some of the resources that are available for reading more books this school year.
I love it. So this is great. We are both in the instructional technology department, just with different hats, media services and instructional technology. Super excited that we get to share our favorite things. So thanks so much for being here tonight for this session. And behind the scenes, the wizard behind the magic, Dr. Melissa Dandy Walker, is here. She's hanging out, supporting this effort. She's actually leading these series, and she just invited us to come share tonight. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Dr. Walker. All right, so our goals for our time tonight are to explore the apps and resources to support literacy at home. So the lens here is, what do we have available and what can you use and leverage these tools and resources at home to support your kiddos. We also hope that you'll gain ideas to support literacy at home. And lastly, that you'll understand a little bit more about the Office of Instructional Technology programs and initiatives. So we're going to kind of highlight some things that you should be aware of that could be programs that you might want your children to participate in. And we just wanted to share some of that with you. So those are our goals tonight. And if you have any questions, we are watching the chat. I know we have some folks that are joining us live here in the Zoom. If you've got a question, feel free to put a comment in the chat. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, we're watching that as well. So thank you so much. So those are our goals tonight. So I get to kick it off and talk about reading progress in Microsoft Teams. So I wanted to highlight a tool that our teachers are using in the classroom. I wanted you to be a little bit more informed about what that tool is so that you can ask your children about, hey, have you been using Reading Progress? Kind of give us some insights about what that's looking like. So there is a short video. Most of the stuff tonight is going to be us live and talking about stuff, but this video is such a great introduction, and this kicks off a great resource we have available here in the district. So I'm going to play that real quick. Sharice, your job is to let me know that we hear the audio come through, that it's all good. So we're going to take a look at this. And if you have any questions, then I'm going to dive in and show a tool that you can use at home that can support literacy. So here we are. This is a little bit about reading progress. This is what our students are using it in school to support literacy so that you can kind of be informed about what that is.
Literacy is so important, and it's my job to help the kids grow in that and to see the value in that and to break the mindsets of like, oh, I'm just a bad reader, I don't like to read.
I don't have to worry about other people just looking at me and staring at me. It's just reading to myself, sort of, but on camera.
When I came across Reading Progress, I was able to say, hey, I've assigned a passage to each and every one of you guys. At your reading level, I want you to record you reading this passage. I was surprised that when the whole class came back, literally within 10 minutes, everyone was already done. Having that recording, I'm able to spend ample amount of time to analyze, and instead of using my instructional time, it allows me to use my planning time to figure out how do I intentionally approach every student. The whole class, this is what I'll teach them, and maybe this one specific individual student, I need to address with him or her this specific area. Reading Progress has really motivated a lot of kids to work harder and kind of gave them ownership of their learning.
Well, as a mother and an educator, you know that the conference with the student is the most powerful piece. It's not necessarily them reading and recording, it's what you do with that reading and with that recording. And she's able to capitalize on that even faster now.
It probably helps me be a better reader because I can actually listen to myself. And if I did say a word wrong or something, I'd be able to say it better than next time because I know that I said it wrong.
Struggling readers, they struggle, so they avoid reading. And by avoiding reading, they struggle even more. And so it's been really cool to watch how my kids are, reading more at home. They're more excited to read in the classroom. They have their personal goals that they've made, not me. And so they're excited to work.
Coming from an administrative perspective is that this isn't just a classroom tool. Because we have so much access to data, that this is a powerful tool to change the learning trajectory of a building. But watching her grow in her reading, it's been a joy for me. I used to love reading as a child, and I wanted that for her.
Now that we use the app, I'm more confident. I'm less worried about it. Get worried about a lot of things, but reading now is one of the things that I'm not worried about anymore.
I want all of my students to get to the point where they know what it feels like to get lost in a book.
Favorite part is when I get to a really interesting part in the book and then I can't stop reading it, and it's really fun.
All right. So that is, I think, a great video from Microsoft that highlights the power of Reading Progress. So Reading Progress is a tool that our teachers are leveraging in the classroom, and students, you might see your children at home doing Reading Progress assignments. And so we wanted to give you an insight about what that was. But what's really powerful is this is what teachers can create assignments. But Microsoft said, you know what? We want to provide a resource that parents and students can take ownership of their own reading practice at home. And so this is Reading Coach. This is a free resource that is available at coach.microsoft.com. And I'm going to walk you through it here in a second, but I just wanted to give you a little insight about what it is. It is a free tool, at my favorite price, free tool for you to go in and set up reading activities for your children to practice their reading. So we're going to take a look at it right here real quick. And so you're going to go to coach.microsoft.com, and I'm going to drop this link here in the chat so that you can grab it really easily. There we go. And so this is the landing page, and it's free. You're able to sign in with a free Microsoft account. So it's personalized. That's what's really important, is that You can choose reading activities that are geared towards your child's reading level and interest, and it gives them that targeted practice. And I think it's such a powerful tool. So we're going to scroll down here a little bit, and you'll see that there's individual learners. There's an educator community and a student community if you just want to learn a bit more. And then the IT side, that's for us to make sure that we have it set up right. And we've turned it on in Atlanta Public Schools for our students so they can log in with their account. So I'm going to click on Start Reading. And it's going to ask me to log into my account. So I've already set up my account here. And I'm going to go live here. Now, what I love about this is that it shows where I have left off with I'm going to get rid of some of here. Turn this off. I got some stuff. There we go. I'm going to try to get this to expand up here. Sorry about that. So we're going to go here and it says, let's practice reading. So I can jump into a story where I was, and it's tracking my amount of time. And this is important because my friend Sharice is going to talk about something about tracking minutes of reading. This counts. So students using this tool is really powerful. I can go down here and I can say, let's create a story using AI. So I could say I'm interested in something that I'm studying in school and I want to use AI to help me come up with a story. I can choose from the library passage, or I can even upload an article or something that I'm working on that's related to my classwork if I want to do that. I'm going to choose read a passage from our library, and I'm going to click on that. So what I'm going to do here is I can choose by grade band. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So this goes up to middle school. So this is a great practice tool for all of our students. I would even say high school learners, this would be a great resource as well, just to build reading fluency. Even though you're in ninth grade, it wouldn't hurt to read an eighth grade passage just for that practice. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to select, I'm a third grader, so I'm going to choose that. And what it does is it gives you some information. It gives you the title of it, so what the topic is, the lexile, which is their reading level, what type of passage is it, fiction or nonfiction. So this is really important if you know what your child needs some help with, like they struggle with reading nonfiction text. They don't like to read informational passages. They'd rather read fun stories. They might need practice in reading nonfiction. Okay. So I can choose that. And I can also choose it by the length of it, because it's really important that maybe I don't want them to be overwhelmed. So I'm going to start with a shorter passage that's only 111 words versus 147. So I'm going to go with what a plant seed. I think this sounds like an interesting one. So I'm going to click on this, and it's very straightforward. As you can see, it's going to pull up what is called immersive reader, and it's going to help me with read aloud if I need it. I have tools that will help highlight the text for me, or I can just do a reading on my own. So I'm going to say start reading, and it's going to count me down. Got 3 seconds. Plants are living things. They depend on water and light to help them grow. But how do plants find what they need? They get it from the world around them. I'm going to hit stop. So I think I did pretty good. Now, as a student, my pronunciation, because I'm using the microphone here in 2 different places, it doesn't like me right now. So what it did was my pronunciation was not great because it didn't pick up my microphone. So, and that's just multitasking, doing this on the Zoom and having the mic go through the Zoom plus use the site is a little tricky. So I did want to point that out, but it will recognize pronunciation for accuracy, and it will tell me words that I might need to work on. So it will give me that vocabulary practice, like glucose, around fine plants. So I could practice my words.
Practice makes progress.
And I can pick a
Select
word.
any word to keep growing your skills.
So glucose might be one.
When you're ready, press the microphone and read the word out loud.
Glucose. Glucose.
Great reading.
So this
You
time
got it.
it picked it up because I was not multitasking in a mic. So it gave me that practice. I can go next, and I can pick my next vocabulary word to practice. And when I click I'm done, it's going to give me that credit for my practice words. Notice it's tracking my time, how much time I spent reading. So this was just a quick little introduction about what this is in terms of using Reading Coach. We could spend an hour just on this. We have so much more information we want to make sure we cover, but we wanted to put this on your radar as a tool that you can use at home with your students, your child, and that reading practice independently to work on fluency and pronunciation. So just wanted to highlight this particular tool for you. So I think this is great. As a former language arts teacher, I wish I'd had this as a resource to share with my parents. I'm super excited. It's something we can share with you. Now, next up, we want to point out that where you can find all of our amazing resources in Atlanta Public Schools, all of the tools that our students have access to are available in My Backpack. So the My Backpack portal is where they can single sign on, which means they sign in once with their credentials and they can access all of the resources. We're actually going to have another session that dives into all of the resources. As you can see, there are so many resources in here that we will have a follow-up session. I believe that's being led by my colleague, Tommy Clay, who's going to dive in and talk about My Backpack. But we just wanted to point out these next resources we're going to talk about are things you can find in My Backpack. So on that note, I'm going to hop over here. I'm going to pass the mic to Charisse. Remember, I said it was important counting minutes. I teed you up. Here you go.
Thanks, Jen. So we are counting our minutes across the district. One of our key incentives and our key initiatives in library media services is Race to Read. I know many of you all have heard of Race to Read. It is a great way to add reading minutes and encourage your child to read at least 20 minutes per day. All right, so you can set reading goals with your family, and our district-wide goal, as you can see, is 10 million minutes. Every year that Race to Read has been launched through the district, we have reached our goal of 10 million minutes. So we just really want to encourage you to go through My Backpack. There's an app on My Backpack that says Beanstack, and most of our students are very familiar with logging their minutes on Beanstack. There's a timer that they can count down. So let's say what Jen presented with the reading progress, if they read for 20 minutes, they can add those 20 minutes to their reading tracker for Beanstack in our Race to Read program. So we really encourage you all to download the app. You can download the app by scanning that QR code, and families and parents can get in on the fun as well with Race to Read. Make sure you connect with your student or connect with a friend that's also reading. You can log the book that you're reading and share a review of the book. So many of our students can share reviews. There are also challenges in Race to Read. So every month we are initiating a challenge for readers to get them more excited about reading for pleasure. So our Race to Read app is, again, one of our key initiatives in the district to encourage our students to read more books and just read more and log their reading minutes. Every month we come around with a prize patrol. So hopefully one of your students or your children can be part of that prize patrol for logging the most minutes in Race to Read. And
I
with
love it.
that,
I was going to
I'll,
say challenge accepted. I think that's amazing. I need to really track mine as well because I think that's something that we can do as well to track our time.
that's right.
I love it. All right. So we mentioned that there is another tool that is available in My Backpack. And I just also wanted to highlight this other one. This is my Book Creator. You might have actually seen your child come home and say, hey, read my book. This is a book I created. So for fostering literacy, we really encourage our students to be not just consumers of content, but creators of content. So it's great that they're reading, but also that they're leveraging their new knowledge and writing and creating content. So I do have another quick little video that kind of highlights some features about Book Creator. So we definitely wanted to show you that and then point out some great things that you can use Book Creator for. So this is just kind of like why this is used in the classroom and how you can have your students use this at home with creating books about things that they're interested in. What's great about Book Creator is they can create just about anything, all subject areas. So it is a literacy tool, but it is used across contents and including special or connection classes. robust tool that includes the ability for students to record voices and translate that. So all of our learners can use this. So Book Creator is definitely one of my favorites because of the ability to create so much content. Again, I was a language arts teacher and kids would make paper versions of books, but now I can put just about anything in a book, including interactive maps, 3D images. I can create my own drawings. And so it really does empower our students to become creators. So I would advise that you ask your child, hey, have you ever used Book Creator in your class? Have you created a book? It's really powerful for a student to say, I've got a book, I've got this product that I can share. What's great about Book Creator is that it's also easy to share. I love that in there it shows the map where you can see where the book has been read. So that means you can share the link to your child's book to your family, and anywhere they live in the world, they can read it without an account. If you send them the link, they can read that book, and your student, you can see on the map where the book has been read. I just think it's such a powerful tool. We just wanted to highlight that that's another resource that we're using to support literacy. And your students, if they're working on writing skills, they have the ability to create at home as long as they're on their device. It is a web-based tool, so they can log into their Book Creator account and get creating and use the Read Aloud tool to help with their literacy skills. They can actually record their own voice and video and do all sorts of things to create these engaging books. So we want to just put that on your radar. It is a newer resource that we've rolled out a little bit last year, but we've had it this year. Teachers are using it in all content areas across all grade bands. So be sure to ask your student, hey, have you made a book lately? And Book Creator, so you can check out what they're creating in their classes. Speaking of bookmaking, here we go again. We planned this so well, Charisse.
Yes, we really did. It's a perfect segue because we use Book Creator a lot in our library media centers because part of our digital literacy knowledge and proficiency is creating authors out of students. So we have a contest that we showcase our student authors every year, and it is the Ezra Jack Keats Bookmaking Competition. This competition is a great way for our students to showcase their writing skills, their illustration skills, and all of their ideas and their discoveries about learning. They can create different books through the bookmaking competition. This competition takes place in late March, and we encourage students to use several platforms, one of them being, of course, Book Creator, because with Book Creator, they have the opportunity to include their personal illustrations and illustrations from that are curated from Book Creator. So that is one of our main resources that our student authors use to publish digital books that they create. And along with Book Creator, students are also able to use Canva to create digital books. They are also able to use Adobe Express, which is a great literacy tool. A lot of our media specialists learned about all the ways that they can create with Adobe Express. And I'm sure Jen Hall and the instructional technology team are going to share more information about Adobe Express and all of the wealth of resources that are available through that platform. And then also, students are able to create books using Google Drawings. So, just some of the platforms that our students use in order to showcase their writing literacy. Again, that contest, Ezra Jack Heat's bookmaking competition, takes place in late March. So encourage your students to dabble around with Book Creator and start thinking of ideas of how they want to create their own self-authored and self-published books. And again, Book Creator is a great way to do that.
I have to say, I got to be a judge this past year, and I was blown away with some of the books that were created. They were professional looking. I was just amazed. So I can't wait to see what our kids create this year for sure.
Yes, we look forward to the bookmaking competition every year. And in fact, we uh, publish the books at the board, at the APS school board, and all of our judges and viewers of the books, they're amazed with what students can create. So thanks for that vote, Jen, for your
Oh
judging.
yeah. Oh yeah, great stuff. All right. Next up.
All right, so Sora. Hopefully, you all have seen Sora in your homes and on your iPads and your iPhones of your students. Sora is one of our digital reading apps. So, with Sora, you can have access to thousands of ebooks and audiobooks. And we have partnered with the Atlanta Fulton Library. So Sora is available. Not only do you have access to all of the books that are available in Atlanta Public Schools Library, students and families have access to all the books that are available in the Fulton County Library. So it broadens that library and that reading, that expansive reading through the Fulton County Library. You can pair literature with any type of STEAM content. So we have a lot of science fair projects coming up. So use Sora for those science fair projects. Parents, I know you all just love science fair season, but use Sora in order to get some ebooks and audiobooks related to that content. There is reader accessibility adaptations through Sora. So if you notice this font is different than the other fonts, that's because they offer a dyslexic font. So if students need support with reading or dyslexic reading, that they can change the font in Sora. So that's a great thing that I love about Sora. There's also a way to change the screen. Some students don't like looking at a white screen. They prefer the sepia or a black screen. So Sora is a great opportunity to change the way that the screen looks for more easier reading. You can filter anything in Sora by subject and text level for your students. And guess what? Students can check out books, ebooks, and audiobooks for 21 days. There is a loan period of 21 days and there are no late fees. So after those 21 days, the books just get returned to Sora. So the next video is just a
Hi, my name's Olivia, and I
Sorry about that. Go ahead. Tee it up
No,
and then
no
I'll hit play.
problem. Play away, Jen. Thanks.
All righty.
Hi, my name's Olivia, and I love to read. Finding something new to read used to be a problem until the Sora app. I can use Sora to discover and enjoy the industry's largest collection of ebooks and audiobooks from my school, for both leisure and class-assigned reading, and it couldn't be easier to use. Just find your school and log in using school credentials. From there, it's a simple one-tap step to borrow and start reading. With Sora, you can listen to audiobooks and add bookmarks, notes, and highlights as you listen. With ebooks, there's the dyslexic font, enlarged text, read-alongs, and more to personalize my learning. And Sora provides a unified experience across the devices and operating systems. This means you can sync loans, holds, highlights, and more on all your devices. With Sora, achievements and avatars to make reading fun for students, and teachers can optimize instruction with title assignments and reading data. It's even easy enough for my dad to use. Sora, the student reading app, brought to you by your school and built with love by Overdrive.
All
Okay,
right.
I
So
love that. Easy enough for the dad to use. I love it.
that's
That's
right.
fantastic.
Yes, and as a parent myself, reading audiobooks with my son has been a great way to bond and a great way to share reading experiences digitally. If he is on the bus coming home from school or walking to school, he has a great opportunity to listen to audiobooks or read an ebook in, just some downtime. So Sora is a great way to get more reading, more books in. So download Sora and access Sora through my backpack. All right, our next great resource. Atlanta Public Schools has a partnership with the Atlanta Fulton Public Library System, and that partnership is called ClassPass. So hopefully some of you all have accessed the ClassPass app through my backpack, and the app looks like the first app. You're going to go to e-resources and you'll access ClassPass through that app. So ClassPass, the acronym means Connecting Libraries and Schools for Success. So the ClassPass app has so much access to just all things library. All of the digital resources that are available at the Fulton County Library System, they can access through ClassPass. And the great thing is that every Atlanta Public School student has a library card. So there's a wealth of information. If you look on this flyer at the bottom, there's World Book Online, Peterson's test prep. So, parents, even if you're preparing for a law school exam or a truck driver's exam, Peterson test prep is a great way to access those resources. We have the Learning Express. Paper, which is one of our tutorial apps, and we'll talk about Paper a little bit later. You have the Universal Canopy, which is a viewing platform for different movies and videos that are all that are copyright proof, or they're copyrighted, but they're easily accessible. Sorry, lost my words there. But and also another great resource for language learning is our Mango app. So all of those resources are available through our partnership with ClassPass. But one of the main resources that always just draws my attention is an app called Hoopla. Hoopla is the best thing. So if you can scroll, let's go into Hoopla.
All right, here we go.
Thanks.
I love Hoopla too, but I can't
Yes,
wait to hear about you're gonna sell them on why they want to use Hoopla. I can't
yes.
wait.
Okay. Parents, families, Hoopla is going to change your life. Hoopla is a resource that, again, a reading app with ebooks, audiobooks, but the great thing about Hoopla is that you have access to audiobooks on Hoopla, ebooks, guess what? Videos, okay? And even some videos that are available on streaming platforms like Netflix or Hulu, there are some of those videos available on Hoopla. And there's also access to music. So, free music, current music. I just listened to Taylor Swift's album on Hoopla. So all of the resources that are available publicly are available on Hoopla. And like Jen said, my favorite price, it's all available for free. It's all free. So this video kind of goes over how to access Hoopla. You want to log in with your student's student ID. All right. And then the password is their first letter of their first name and then their last name. So make sure that you ask your student their student ID and make sure that you can log in to Hoopla. I use Hoopla on my phone daily. That 20 minutes of reading every day, I get in triple that with ebooks and audiobooks on Hoopla. So again, it is a great resource for students to read all of the books that are available on the Fulton County Library app. And again, you're going to go through your My Backpack and then find the e-resources and the Atlanta Fulton Library Class Pass. So again, Hoopla is a great resource for literacy.
Whoops. There we go. Oh,
Thanks. All right, so more literacy resources. So every April, Atlanta Public Schools hosts the Poetry Slam. So this is a collaboration with Paper. So one of our tutorial platforms is Paper. Students can use Paper to write essays or write poetry, and Paper allows them to upload their writing into a writing review, and they're able to get feedback from the writing review on grammar, on spelling, on usage and conventions from an actual live tutor. So Paper is a great resource for, again, digital literacy. There are live tutors available through Paper, accessible at all times. So every Atlanta Public School student has access to Paper for tutorial, and they can use it at their will. And again, it's available through my backpack. All right, so the Poetry Slam is one of the main resources that we use with Paper, and it is a middle and high school student-led competition, and it showcases their writing, language, and artistic abilities. And they're going to students present their poetry to a group of their peers, and this is all in celebration of National Poetry Month in April. So this school year's Poetry Slam is going to be Friday, April 18th. So encourage your students to write their poetry, get their ideas out. And the surprising thing is that a lot of our students who are maybe reluctant to share, they come alive during the Poetry Slam. So if you want more information about the Poetry Slam, please access it through that tinyaps.com website, and there's a video that showcases last year's Poetry Slam, and we hope to see your students at the Poetry Slam this year. All right. So, of course, I'm a library media specialist by trade. So, one of my favorite things to do is read and read as many books as possible. So, our students also love to do the same thing. They love to read, and the students who love to read and love to read from different genres and different text levels and different authors are encouraged to participate in the Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl. So that is our Super Bowl of reading. And the Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl is an opportunity for students to join a reading bowl team from elementary, middle, and high school levels. And in elementary and middle school, they read 10 books that are selected from the Georgia Children's Book Awards. And in high school, students read 20 books that are selected from the Georgia Peach Awards list. So this is a great opportunity for students to get access to as many books as possible and have that healthy level of competition with reading. And it's set up in a trivia style a trivia style competition. So we are so excited to host all of our schools and all of our middle and high schools. And then we have two of the top elementary schools from each cluster that participate in the Reading Bowl. All of the Reading Bowl books are available on, again, Hoopla and Sora, our two ebook platforms, and they're also available in our libraries. So that competition takes place January 25th. We're always looking for volunteers to support the Super Bowl of reading. And if you want more information, please access apsreadingbowl.weebly.com. And we hope to see your students at the Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl.
all right. This is a great opportunity for us to highlight more of our exciting initiatives. So the Technology and Innovation Competition is an annual competition that we host for the district, and this will be year 13, I believe. So save the date. It will be on February 1st. How it works though is that your child needs to work with the ed tech specialist at the school. They can talk to one of their teachers and express their interest, who will get in touch with one of our educational technology specialists assigned to the school to officially register, because you have to be pre-registered for this competition. But what this competition is an opportunity for students to showcase their creativity in one of 14 different categories. And I'm going to drop this link in the chat. I've also added the Reading Bowl one in the chat as well on the channel. You can find the chat, that information there. So your student, your child, will have the opportunity to compete. It's grades 3 through 12. It's in grade band. So third and fourth compete together, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, and 11th, 12th. It can be a solo presentation or project, or a partner project. So two people can work together to create content and showcase their creativity. It can be a project that they've created, for instance, in science class on a science concept, and they want to enter that project. Or it could be something that they have a passion project and they want to create it for that. So there is some more information here, and I'm actually going to drop this link right here as well. This is our student guide that lets you let's see here, that lets you explore a book. I'm going to grab it right here so we can read this right now. And look at that, we created it inside of Book Creator, because why not? It's such a powerful tool. So here is the link to this Book Creator book that tells you all about participating in the competition, and it breaks it down with the different categories. So I can see, what am I interested in, the kind of the FAQs, when is it, what do I need to know? And so these are all of the different categories that they can explore and be like, I want to know more about device modification. There are some examples in here from the state, because our competition, our first place winners will go on to state in March. So this is such a great opportunity for our students to showcase their creativity. So these are the categories. I've dropped that link in the chat. It's also there on the channel for you to take a look at that. So if your student is interested, your kiddo is saying, yes, I would love to showcase my creativity, please have them check that out. But they do need to be pre-registered in January. They need to be registered before the event to qualify to compete. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'll make sure to share my information if you have any questions, so that you can connect with the ed tech specialist at your child's school. This is our newest initiative. I'm super excited. This was a passion project for me, having been a former language arts teacher and doing a lot of film projects. I'm going to drop this link in the chat as well. This goes to the site with information about our second annual film festival. We had our first annual last year. We're so excited to have a number of films here. You can go back and actually watch the live stream, but you can see the highlight reel of all of our students and a little bit about the awards, who won in each category. But this has information about the film festival. If you would like to have your child participate, it opens up not until next semester. There's an entry window of February 10th through the 14th. And then we are planning for our award ceremony in May, on May 7th. And last year we had an Oscars style award ceremony for our students. It was so awesome, recognizing their creativity. This is open K through 12th. We even had a second grader that placed last year. And this is open to a solo project or a whole class or small group project. So it does open up opportunities for students. What's kind of great though is if your student creates, if your child creates a video production project for tech competition, it can also be entered here. So we did want to point that out. So stay tuned for more information, but we wanted to put that on your radar because the film festival is something we're super excited about, hosting our second annual one this school year. So more information is available at the website. That link has been dropped in the chat. So please check it out. Reach out to your school, reach out to your school's media specialist, and ask more about the film festival. Uh, there
Yes.
are academic and aesthetic categories, so for elementary, middle, and high school grade bands, and it's an opportunity for kids to show what they've learned or create based on something that they're interested in. So that is our student film festival.
Yes, thank Jen. The Student Film Festival has become one of the highlights of the year for some of our students who are interested in videography and editing. So that is, I love the Student Film Festival. And didn't you say that we were going to work with some of our film studios in Atlanta?
That is a goal. Since this is a new initiative, we're hoping to garner some partnerships. So fingers crossed, we speak it
Yes.
into existence because we are the Hollywood of the South. So this is an opportunity for students that want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera to showcase their creativity and prepare for hopefully a career in film, possibly here in Atlanta.
That's right. It's a great opportunity for our students to their media literacy skills. One more opportunity for our students to showcase all of the digital literacy that they have curated during the school year, whether that's through Book Creator or whether that's through the technology competition, technology and innovation competition, or the film festival, or even the Helen Ruffin Reading Bowl. The one opportunity that they can put all of those projects together is through the Georgia Student Media Festival. So that is an opportunity for any creation that is digital and that is media related. Students can present their projects through this festival. This festival always takes place in late March every year. So it's a great opportunity for our students to, let's say they entered the tech competition sponsored by Instructional Technology and maybe they haven't placed. This is a great opportunity for students to maybe edit their projects and present them through to the student media festival. So they can compile all those things. And again, we always do a district competition every year. And then we also take those winners from the district competition and move them on to the Georgia competition. So we have several best in shows and merits and superior work and honorable mentions. We actually had one student enter the Georgia Media Festival last year with their own self-illustrated um, art. So it was like they were able to draw on their iPad and use all those literacy skills in order to present a project that was a winner. So encourage your students to enter the Student Media Festival. Information is below. And one of our dates that we want you to consider is November 1st is National Literacy Day. So this kind of brings everything together with our digital literacy and all of the My Backpack apps that you can use to access literacy. So there are many ways that you can get to ebooks and audiobooks and videos and celebrate all those literacy successes on November 1st with your family because it's National Family Literacy Day. So we hope that you have gained some information, explore My Backpack, and explore all the resources that we share in this presentation today. And I'll take it back to you, Jen.
Oh, thank you so much. So our goals for our time today were to explore apps and resources to support literacy at home. So hopefully you're giving us a thumbs up on that, that yes, we talked about different apps and resources that you can use. Hopefully you got some ideas of different resources that you might like to use. Maybe it's something that provides accessibility tools such as Sora. Maybe it's I want to use a tool to help my child with their reading and practice that fluency. So you're excited to explore Microsoft Coach. But we also want to help you understand more about the Office of Instructional Technology programs and initiatives, that you realize there's a number of opportunities for you to get your child involved in uh, different projects that we have and initiatives throughout the year. So those are our goals for our session. We're super excited that we had to spend some time with you. We welcome any questions. I'm watching the chat here for another minute or two. We hope that this was beneficial. If you are one of our friends that is not here live with us, but you actually are watching on our YouTube channel and you've made it all the way to the end of this session, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you and all that you do to support your children. And we're thrilled to partner with you to ensure they are successful. So on that note, anything else to add, Sharice? Thank you so much. This was great.
This,
I enjoyed getting to spend some time with you, sharing our favorite resources that we have in the district.
of course. Thanks so much for inviting me, Jen. And yeah, I hope that parents dive into those literacy resources and enjoy reading with your students.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. And I think we're about where we can wrap up here. And I want a special shout out to our parents that joined us live here via the Zoom. And also thank you to Dr. Melissa Dandy Walker for hanging in with us. We appreciate the opportunity to share. So on that note,